Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions, DFI, has issued emergency guidance on prohibited debt collection practices. Now, the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions administers the Wisconsin Consumer Act. That's an act that governs consumer credit transactions. And there's language in the Consumer Act that specifies that new economic conditions actually give DFI some flexibility in determining what are prohibited debt collection practices. DFI specifies that we are in those new economic conditions right now because of coronavirus. So practices that may have been typical or customary under normal conditions now may be deemed harassment under the conditions of what they call the global pandemic we find ourselves in. So here's an example they give in their guidance. Continued phone calls. While a debt collector may engage in continued phone calls under normal circumstances, and it may not be considered harassing activity, under the global pandemic we find ourselves in, continued phone calls now could be a prohibited debt collection practices as governed by the Wisconsin Consumer Act. The Department of Financial Institutions acknowledges that they cannot draw a bright line. There's no precise boundary between prohibited and permitted communications with debtors because each must be, of course, considered in context with the totality of circumstances of what's going on with each debtor or creditor. But they do give a warning. Business as usual will not be accepted in this public health emergency. To provide further guidance, DFI has provided sample letters on impermissible pre-crisis calls to a debtor's friend and family, and a full copy of the Wisconsin Consumer Act, the chapters that govern debt collection practices. We link to both of those in the description below.